We all know China and Russia want to turn BRICS into an anti US alliance, right? But here we have India, which is blocking each and every move of these nations aimed at the US. In a recent move, which is quite surprising, India and Brazil have pushed back against a Chinese plan to expand the BRICS alliance. Make no mistake, a key BRICS meeting will take place in South Africa's Johannesburg in late August, and China is pushing to formally welcome Indonesia and Saudi Arabia into the BRICS group. Now, both Indonesia and Saudi Arabia have aligned their foreign policy with China, while their ties with US have nosedived over the past few years. Now, India is worried that the expansion of BRICS will turn it into a Chinese entity. BRICS will essentially be overpowered by pro China nations, thus threatening India's position in the alliance. India will get reduced to a junior partner to China, a scenario highly unacceptable to New Delhi. And by the way, it is not just India which is worried. Brazil too shares the same concerns. And here is the most interesting part. Even Russia is not enthusiastic about expanding BRICS, although it will support the expansion if China puts up a proposal. Instead of expansion, Brazil has put forward a plan to create two different categories for the potential members. These categories are observer and partner countries. New nations will be first put under these categories and then gradually promoted to full-fledged members. India supports this model as well. Now the question is, which nation should be first given the observer status? India is bidding to get Nigeria and Argentina on board. Now it is important to mention that both of these countries are democratic as well as not so pro-China in nature. So all in all, there is a kind of infighting going on between BRICS nations as if who should be taken in first. India is openly objecting to China's expansion bid, and India seems to enjoy the backing of Brazil as well as Russia. Earlier, India blocked Russia's plans to float a new BRICS joint currency. India is of the view that a BRICS joint currency stands the risk of being monopolized by China, thus jeopardizing India's financial security. It must be noted that approval of all BRICS member countries is required to expand the alliance, and India is using this caveat as a geopolitical tool. India, for instance, can ask China for its support regarding a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. India can also ask for concessions regarding China's unwavering support to Pakistan. That because India knows BRICS is an extremely important forum for China in the face of severe isolation it faces in the post-COVID world. It is the only geopolitical tool that China can use against US, and that tool is currently being held hostage by none other than India. The Bloomberg report also says that India has also opposed Saudi Arabia's admission into BRICS. Well, that also came as a surprise. But it must be noted that Saudi Arabia recently boycotted a G20 meet held in Kashmir, which meant it still saw Kashmir as a disputed territory. By denying Saudi Arabia the BRICS membership, New Delhi might want to send Riyadh some strong message, because BRICS is extremely important for Saudi Arabia to diversify its economy away from oil. And last but not least, through these actions against China and Saudi Arabia, India can pitch itself as a solid partner before the West. India can say, look, we are in a way protecting Western interests by blocking China's plans at the BRICS. So for now, India looks in total control. It is playing its cards well, and it is having the best of both worlds.